$500 billion. That's what Elon Musk is worth. The first person ever to hit this milestone, but he's not alone in luxury. From living in mansions worth billions to traveling in opulent, custom-designed private jets, his family lives beyond imagination. Let's journey together into the trillionaire world of Elon Musk and his family. The Musk fortune, a $500 billion empire. When we talk about extraordinary wealth in the 21st century, we're usually discussing figures that most human minds struggle to truly comprehend. But on October 1st, 2025, something unprecedented happened in the history of human wealth accumulation. Elon Musk became the first individual to ever surpass a net worth of $500 billion. Not $400 billion, not $450 billion, $500 billion. To put this astronomical figure into perspective, if you had started saving $1 million every single day from the moment Jesus Christ was born over 2,000 years ago, you still wouldn't have accumulated half of what Elon Musk is worth today. It's a number so staggering, so incomprehensibly vast, that it forces us to reconsider what we thought we knew about the limits of personal wealth in modern civilization. But here's what makes the Musk family story even more fascinating. While Elon dominates the financial landscape with approximately 99% of the family's collective $502 billion fortune, the remaining members of this remarkable clan have carved out their own impressive niches in industries ranging from sustainable agriculture to Hollywood entertainment, from high-fashion modeling to culinary entrepreneurship. This isn't just the story of one man's unprecedented accumulation of wealth. It's the intricate tale of an entire family whose combined assets, business ventures, and lifestyle choices represent a new paradigm of dynastic fortune building in the digital age. The foundation of this empire rests predominantly on Elon's shoulders, and understanding the architecture of his wealth requires examining the multiple pillars that support this $500 billion colossus. His largest asset, the crown jewel of his portfolio, is his stake in Tesla Inc., which comprises approximately 60 to 70% of his total wealth. With Tesla's market capitalization hovering around $1.2 trillion, Elon's ownership of roughly 12 to 13% of the company translates to an asset worth hundreds of billions of dollars. And here's where it gets even more extraordinary. A proposed 2025 compensation package could potentially add up to $1 trillion in value if Tesla hits an $8.5 trillion market cap by 2035, potentially increasing his stake to over 25% through 423 million additional shares. Think about that for a moment. We're not talking about a bonus package worth millions or even billions. We're discussing a compensation structure that could, in theory, add an entire $1 trillion to one person's net worth. It's contingent on achieving seemingly impossible milestones like $400 billion in adjusted EBITDA. But if anyone has demonstrated the ability to achieve the impossible, it's the man who revolutionized the electric vehicle industry and made reusable rockets a reality. But Tesla, as dominant as it is in Elon's portfolio, represents only one tributary flowing into this river of wealth. SpaceX, valued at $400 billion as of August 2025, contributes another massive chunk to his net worth. Elon holds an estimated 42% stake in the company, which translates to approximately $168 billion in value. Founded in 2002 with the audacious goal of making humanity a multiplanetary species, SpaceX has become the world's most valuable private company through its Starlink satellite network, lucrative NASA contracts, and revolutionary reusable rocket technology exemplified by the Starship program. The genius of Elon's wealth accumulation lies not just in the success of individual companies, but in how these ventures create synergistic value. When XAI merged with X, formerly known as Twitter, in March 2025, it created a combined entity valued at $113 billion, including debt. The artificial intelligence powerhouse XAI, co-founded in 2023, was alone valued at $80 billion. This merger represented a bold bet on the convergence of social media and artificial intelligence, two of the most transformative technologies of our era. Remember, Elon acquired Twitter for $44 billion in 2022, and despite controversies surrounding content moderation and platform changes, the rebranding to X and integration of AI capabilities have stabilized and potentially enhanced its value. Beyond these headline-grabbing ventures, Elon's portfolio includes a combined $10 to $15 billion in value from Neuralink and the Boring Company. Neuralink, focused on developing brain-computer interfaces, has raised $2 billion in funding, while the Boring Company's infrastructure projects, primarily tunnel construction, are valued at $5.7 billion. These might seem like relatively modest figures compared to his other holdings, but they represent potential game-changing technologies that could revolutionize how humans interact with computers and how we approach urban transportation. The genesis of this empire traces back to much humbler beginnings. Elon's entrepreneurial journey started with Zip2, which sold for $307 million in 1999. Netting Elon his first significant windfall. This was followed by PayPal's acquisition by eBay in 2002, which brought Elon $180 million. These early exits provided the seed capital that Elon would invest into his more ambitious ventures. It's worth noting that Elon's net worth has multiplied 2.5 times since 2021 alone, driven by Tesla's dominance in the electric vehicle market and SpaceX's pioneering role in the emerging space economy. What makes this wealth particularly fascinating from a structural perspective is how illiquid it is. Unlike a traditional billionaire who might hold significant cash reserves or easily tradable securities, Elon's fortune is predominantly tied up in equity stakes in his companies. This means his net worth can fluctuate by billions of dollars in a single day, based on market sentiment, company performance, or even his own controversial tweets. His family office, Accession LLC, manages an estimated $475 billion in total wealth, handling the complex task of coordinating investments, managing liquid assets, and navigating the intricate financial ecosystem of one of history's wealthiest individuals. Projections for Elon's wealth trajectory are frankly mind-boggling. Financial analysts suggest a potential $1 trillion net worth by 2030 if his bets on artificial intelligence and Mars colonization continue to accelerate. Of course, such predictions come with enormous caveats. Regulatory scrutiny could intensify, market volatility could deflate valuations, and Elon's own controversial public persona could create business headwinds. Yet his role as a senior advisor to President Trump in 2025, heading the Department of Government Efficiency, has potentially unlocked new subsidies and favorable regulatory conditions that could boost his company's valuations even further. But the Musk family fortune extends beyond Elon, and understanding the complete picture requires examining how his siblings and relatives have built their own wealth, often leveraging early connections to Elon's ventures while pursuing independent paths. Kimball Musk, Elon's younger brother, occupies a fascinating position in this family narrative. Often referred to as the Forgotten Musk, Kimball has amassed a net worth estimated between $629 million and $900 million as of October 2025. While this fortune is undeniably derivative of Elon's success to a significant degree, Kimball has supplemented it through independent ventures in sustainable food and agriculture that align with his personal mission of transforming American food systems. The cornerstone of Kimball's wealth is his approximately 1.46 million Tesla shares, representing about 0.05% of the company, currently valued at around $629 million. As a Tesla board member since 2004, Kimball has benefited from stock options and the dramatic appreciation in Tesla's value over the past 2 decades. These Tesla shares account for approximately 70 to 80% of his total wealth, making his fortune intimately tied to his brother's flagship company. But Kimball is far more than just a Tesla shareholder. He's built a reputation as a pioneering figure in the farm-to-table movement through the Kitchen Restaurant Group, which he founded in 2004. Operating locations in Colorado and Chicago, this restaurant chain generates tens of millions in annual revenue and has expanded into a $100 million plus enterprise. Kimball's distinctive cowboy chef persona has become synonymous with sustainable, locally sourced cuisine that bridges the gap between environmental consciousness and culinary excellence. His commitment to food security extends into the non-profit sector through Big Green, an organization dedicated to building school gardens across America, and Square Roots, an urban farming initiative. These ventures add an estimated $50 to $100 million in value through hydroponics and sustainability technology. Like his brother, Kimball also benefited from the early Musk ventures, receiving approximately $22 million from the Zip2 sale, which he split with Elon. He's also believed to hold estimated 1 to 2% stakes in SpaceX, worth $4 to $8 billion at private valuations, though these figures remain difficult to confirm given the private nature of the company. Kimball's wealth trajectory has been impressive, growing from $500 million in early 2025 to potentially $1 billion by year's end, driven largely by Tesla's rally. His focus on food security and sustainable agriculture aligns perfectly with global trends toward environmental consciousness and local food systems, though his wealth will likely always remain in the shadow of his older brother's astronomical fortune. Family fortunes, from Hollywood to the runway. The youngest Musk sibling, Tosca, represents perhaps the most independent success story within the family, having built a $170 million net worth through the entertainment industry rather than through direct involvement in her brother's technology ventures. Tosca's journey underscores the diverse talents within the Musk family, demonstrating that not all paths to significant wealth need to run through Silicon Valley or the electric vehicle industry. Passionflix, which Tosca co-founded in 2017, stands as her signature achievement, a romance-focused streaming service that adapts popular romance novels into films and series. The platform has been valued at between $100 and $150 million, and as its CEO and primary producer, Tosca drives revenue through both subscriptions and royalties from the content she creates. It's a brilliant niche strategy in an increasingly crowded streaming landscape. Rather than competing directly with Netflix or Disney Plus across all genres, Passionflix focuses intensely on serving the massive, often underserved audience of romance fiction enthusiasts. Beyond Passionflix, Tosca's film production credits include works like Driven and adaptations of the Black Dagger Brotherhood series, projects that have added an estimated $20 to $50 million from box office performance and streaming deals. While she benefited from early family support and likely received some seed capital from the family's Zip2 involvement, Tosca's wealth is notably self-sustained through her Hollywood networks and entrepreneurial vision rather than through direct stakes in Tesla or SpaceX. Her net worth has remained relatively steady at $170 million since 2022, with potential for growth as streaming platforms continue to expand and demand for niche content increases. Tosca has publicly credited her family's grit and work ethic for her success, but she's deliberately maintained her independence, building an empire that stands on its own merits rather than simply riding on her brother's coattails. Then there's May Musk, the family matriarch whose own remarkable journey embodies resilience, reinvention, and the power of personal branding. At 77 years old, May holds a net worth estimated between $20 and $45 million, earned through an astonishing 50-year career in modeling and wellness advocacy. After divorcing Elon Musk in 1979, she raised her 3 children on relatively modest earnings, working multiple jobs as a dietitian and model to make ends meet. Her current wealth represents not inherited fortune, but decades of grinding work in a notoriously difficult industry. May's modeling career, which includes covers for Vogue, Time, and a groundbreaking Sports Illustrated appearance in 2022, generates an estimated $5 to $10 million annually. At an age when most people are well into retirement, she serves as a CoverGirl ambassador, challenging ageist assumptions about beauty and marketability. Her memoir, A Woman Makes a Plan, published in 2019, along with nutrition lectures and speaking engagements, have added approximately $10 million in royalties and fees to her wealth. May also holds minor stakes in her children's ventures, including Tesla shares that were likely gifted early in the company's development when they were worth far less than today's valuations. Her net worth has grown from $20 million in 2024 to $45 million in 2025, boosted by lucrative brand deals and the continued appreciation of her minor investment holdings. She uses a portion of her wealth to support philanthropic efforts in women's health, continuing the advocacy work that has defined much of her career. The Musk family narrative would be incomplete without addressing Elon Musk, the controversial patriarch whose relationship with Elon has been publicly fraught for years. Elon's current net worth sits at a modest $5 million, a figure that fluctuates based on past investments and his estrangement from his famous son. Once affluent, Elon's fortune has significantly waned over the decades, a stark contrast to the astronomical wealth his children have accumulated. Elon's primary income sources include engineering consulting and real estate holdings in South Africa, which provide steady but unspectacular returns. The historical co-ownership of an emerald mine in Zambia, a detail often mentioned in Musk family lore, once funded family luxuries including a sprawling Pretoria mansion, yachts, and private planes. However, those proceeds have long since been depleted, and Errol has sold off many of his past luxury assets. His wealth trajectory has remained essentially flat at $5 million, with no significant growth from family connections, a situation likely related to his complicated relationship with Elon, whom he has publicly feuded with over the years. The extended Musk financial universe also includes Elon's ex-partners and children, each with their own financial arrangements and wealth accumulation. Justine Wilson, Elon's first wife, holds an estimated $15 million derived from book royalties. Her novel Blood Angel and other works have generated substantial income, and a 2008 divorce settlement. Notably, she did not receive Tesla shares as part of her divorce settlement, a decision that in retrospect cost her billions as Tesla's value skyrocketed in subsequent years. Tallulah Riley, who was married to Elon twice, has accumulated between $5 and $40 million from her acting career, most notably her role in Westworld, combined with settlements from her 2 divorces from Elon in 2016. The exact terms of these settlements remain private, but they've clearly provided her with substantial financial security. Perhaps most intriguing are the financial arrangements for Elon's children. The 14 children collectively benefit from trusts totaling over $100 million, established through Elon's gifts and including Tesla shares designated for educational purposes. While the children have no significant personal earnings yet, most are minors or young adults, Elon's pro-natalist philosophy and apparent commitment to building a Musk dynasty suggest that these trusts represent only the beginning of substantial wealth transfers to the next generation. The extended family network also includes cousins Lyndon and Peter Reeve, the founders of SolarCity, which was acquired by Tesla in a controversial deal. Each is estimated to hold between $10 and $50 million from that acquisition and subsequent investments. The SolarCity deal exemplifies how the Musk family's business interconnections create synergistic value, though it also sparked criticism about potential conflicts of interest when Tesla acquired a company run by Elon's relatives. When we tally the complete family wealth excluding Elon himself, the total comes to under $2 billion, a staggering sum for any normal family, but less than half of 1% of Elon's personal fortune. This disparity illustrates just how dominant Elon is within this family's financial ecosystem. The wealth is managed through various structures, including trusts and Elon's family office, Accession LLC, which coordinates investments and handles the complex task of wealth preservation and growth across multiple entities and individuals. Looking forward, projections suggest that family assets could potentially double by 2030, driven by continued appreciation in Tesla stock, the growth of Elon's other ventures, and strategic wealth transfers. Elon's role heading the Department of Government Efficiency could unlock additional subsidies and favorable regulatory treatment for family businesses, particularly Tesla, though this arrangement has generated significant controversy about the blurring of public service and private enrichment. The family fortune is not without vulnerabilities. It remains heavily concentrated in volatile technology stocks rather than diversified across traditional asset classes. Market corrections, regulatory crackdowns, or dramatic shifts in consumer sentiment toward electric vehicles or space exploration could significantly impact valuations. Personal dynamics within the family, estrangements, custody battles, and public feuds also create potential complications for wealth preservation and transfer. Living the trillionaire life compounds jets and dynastic ambitions. When you possess a $500 billion fortune, how do you actually live? What does daily existence look like when you've transcended the wealth of not just millionaires or billionaires, but entered rarefied air, where your personal net worth exceeds the GDP of most nations? For the Musk family, the answer is surprisingly complex, blending genuine minimalism with strategic luxury, privacy obsession with public visibility, and practical functionality with dynastic ambition. Elon Musk's residential choices perfectly encapsulate this paradox. In 2020 and 2021, he famously sold nearly all his California properties, a collection valued at $137 million, declaring his intention to own no house and embrace a simpler lifestyle aligned with his stated mission of Mars colonization. His current primary residence is a modest 1,000 square foot prefabricated boxable casita in Boca Chica, Texas, near SpaceX's Starbase facility, purchased for under $50,000. This foldable, eco-friendly structure features just a small bedroom, kitchenette, and bathroom, equipped with high-speed Starlink internet and solar panels for self-sufficiency. It's a compelling narrative. The world's wealthiest person living in what amounts to a glorified tiny home. But this minimalist image contrasts sharply with Elon's investment in a $35 million family compound in Austin, Texas, acquired in 2023 and 2024. This massive property, spanning 43 acres and consisting of 3 mansions with a combined 20,000 square feet, represents a very different vision of how extreme wealth shapes living arrangements. The Austin compound features heated pools, state-of-the-art gyms, home theaters, and expansive lawns with views of SpaceX's testing facilities. Smart home systems, solar energy grids, and Tesla Powerwall backup batteries align with Elon's sustainable technology vision. But the compound's true purpose reveals something deeper about how Elon conceptualizes family in the context of extraordinary wealth. It's designed as a private enclave for his ex-partners, including Grimes and Shivonzilis and their children. fostering family unity while maintaining seclusion from public scrutiny. Security is paramount, with gated access, extensive surveillance systems, and private roads to deter paparazzi and potential threats. The property's proximity to Tesla's Gigafactory and SpaceX's Austin operations allows Elon to seamlessly integrate family life with his demanding work schedule. The compound's design reportedly draws inspiration from Mars colony concepts, featuring self-contained utilities and food gardens that could theoretically function independent of external infrastructure, a telling detail that reveals how Elon's futuristic visions infiltrate even his residential planning. This $35 million compound represents just 0.007% of Elon's net worth, equivalent to someone worth $1 million spending $70 on housing, a perspective that helps contextualize what might otherwise seem like extravagant spending. It marks a shift from flashy estates to functional, family-oriented luxury designed to support his vision of raising multiple children in a cohesive environment, despite the complex web of relationships with different mothers. The other Musk family members have carved out their own distinctive residential footprints. Mai Musk splits her time between a $5 to $10 million Manhattan condominium in a luxury building with 24/7 concierge service, rooftop terraces, and comprehensive fitness centers, and a $2 to $3 million Austin residence near Elon's compound. The New York apartment, likely located in the Upper East Side or Tribeca, features minimalist decor with designer furniture, art collections, and floor-to-ceiling windows showcasing city views. It serves as her base for modeling engagements, Vogue shoots, and CoverGirl campaigns, professional necessities for someone who remains active in the fashion industry at 77. Kimball Musk's real estate reflects his commitment to sustainable food systems. His primary residence is a $5 to $10 million organic farm in Boulder, Colorado, spanning over 100 acres. The property includes a modern farmhouse with solar panels, a professional-grade kitchen for recipe testing, and greenhouses supporting his Square Roots urban farming startup. Features include reclaimed wood interiors, panoramic mountain views, and a guest lodge for hosting eco-retreats. He also maintains a $3 to $5 million condominium in Chicago's Gold Coast, featuring high-rise views, a private elevator, and a rooftop garden for urban farming experiments. Tosca's $5 to $10 million modern mansion in the Hollywood Hills or Brentwood caters to her needs as a filmmaker and Passionflix CEO, including a home theater, editing studio, and infinity pool overlooking Los Angeles. The property features smart home technology and outdoor spaces perfect for hosting Passionflix premieres, doubling as both residence and professional networking hub. But beyond stationary real estate, the Musk family's true expression of mobility wealth lies in their fleet of private aircraft. Elon's aviation assets, estimated at $100 to $150 million, consist primarily of Gulfstream jets chosen for their long-range capabilities and customization options. His flagship aircraft, a Gulfstream G650ER designated N628TS, was purchased in 2015 for around $70 million and can fly 7,500 nautical miles non-stop. Sufficient range to travel from Austin to Beijing without refueling. Customized with 19-passenger seating, a full galley kitchen, high-speed Wi-Fi via Starlink, and sleeping quarters, this aircraft serves as Elon's flying office where he conducts meetings, reviews engineering plans, and manages his multiple companies while traversing continents. In October 2025 alone, it logged a 1,500-mile trip from Austin International Airport, emitting about 13 metric tons of CO2, part of his annual emissions exceeding 2,000 tons from over 200 flights in recent years, a figure that has drawn environmental criticism despite Tesla's green mission. Leaked NetJets documents from April 2025 revealed fascinating details about Elon's in-flight preferences, specific snacks like fruit platters, bottled water, and ergonomic seating configurations optimized for productivity rather than opulence. These details underscore that for Elon, the jets represent tools for efficiency rather than status symbols. He also owns two Gulfstream G550S, acquired pre-owned for $20 to $30 million each, which handle shorter trips or serve as decoy aircraft to confuse flight trackers like ElonJet, a service that monitored his movements and which Elon has criticized for creating security risks. In April 2025, the FAA approved new regulations allowing private jets to hide their flight data, a policy change that Elon and other billionaires had lobbied for intensely. Interestingly, unlike many billionaires, Elon doesn't own a super yacht, having publicly disdained such luxuries. However, he occasionally charters yachts for family outings, maintaining his stated utilitarian philosophy while still providing luxury experiences when deemed necessary. On roads, he drives Tesla prototypes like the Cybertruck, often in armored configurations for security purposes. In March 2025, Elon, his mother May, and his young son X flew on Air Force One one under President Trump's invitation, sparking significant backlash over the appropriateness of government resources being used for billionaire convenience. This incident highlighted the increasingly blurred lines between Elon's public sector advisory role and his private interests. The family's expenditures extend far beyond real estate and transportation into more personal and controversial territories. Elon has fathered 14 known children, many through IVF and surrogacy, processes that involve substantial costs. A single IVF cycle can cost $10,000 to $20,000, while surrogacy arrangements range from $100,000 to $150,000 when factoring in medical, legal, and compensation fees. For his twins with Siobhan Zillis and triplets with Justine Wilson, these reproductive costs have likely totaled millions of dollars. Reports emerged in 2024 and 2025 of offers made to Ashley St. Clair, mother of his alleged 13th child Romulus, including a $15 million one-time payment for home and living expenses, plus $100,000 monthly stipends until the child reaches 21, arrangements that could exceed $25 million per child if such arrangements were replicated across his entire brood. Elon views these expenditures through the lens of his pro-natalist philosophy, positioning large families as efficient responses to population decline concerns. Looking forward, as Elon's wealth potentially approaches $1 trillion by 2030, the scale of both expenditures and philanthropy will likely increase proportionally. Family trusts for his 14 children could eventually distribute hundreds of billions, creating a multi-generational dynasty with unprecedented resources. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed watching this video, click on one of the boxes playing on your screen to watch more similar content.